Becoming a first-time manager is exciting, but it also comes with new pressures. You're not just managing your work anymore, you're responsible for guiding others, keeping them productive, and staying on top of your own goals too. You might feel like you're juggling too many tasks at once, or maybe feeling unsure about how to motivate your team while still meeting deadlines. In this video, I'm sharing practical tips that every first-time manager can use to help you build trust with your team and to balance autonomy with accountability. By the end, you'll have actionable strategies to use right away, whether you're managing experienced team members, strong personalities, or the other nuances that come with this role. Being a manager doesn't mean being the expert in everything, but it does mean that you're committed to guiding your team by asking the right questions, building trust, and creating an environment where everyone can thrive. We are about to get into the first tip, so keep watching. But first, I want to make sure that you're aware, grab our free resource that can help your team develop leadership skills at scale. Download this free guide using the link in the description and start building the skills that your team needs to succeed. Now, the first tip is to earn trust and build rapport by listening more than you speak. As a new manager, one of the best ways to earn trust quickly is by listening more than you speak. But with the pressures of deadlines and back-to-back meetings, finding the time to genuinely connect with your team can be tough. But it's exactly in these moments that listening counts the most. One easy way is to use the small moments that are already a part of your day. Whether it's during one-on-one meetings, team huddles, or even just the casual check-ins, ask open-ended questions during these times. For example, what's something that's been particularly challenging for you lately? How do you feel about the direction we're headed as a team? What are your thoughts about the state of this project? By asking these kinds of questions, you are demonstrating to your team that you care about their individual experiences and perspectives. Resist the urge to plan your response or to jump in with advice. Instead, focus entirely on what they're saying, use body language to show you're paying attention, and give them time to share their thoughts without interruption. These seemingly small signals send huge indicators that you respect their ideas. Inevitably, connecting with certain individuals or adapting your style to their unique needs can be more challenging for you than maybe with others. This is where tools like automated coaching can really help you excel. For example, insights about each team member's communication preferences or strengths can guide you in tailoring your questions and responses to ensure that your efforts are as impactful as possible. Understanding whether someone prefers more direct conversation or needs time to reflect before responding can make your listening efforts even more effective. It's not about doing more, it's about using the right approach to make the time you already have with each person count. And with the right insights, you can build trust even faster by showing that you truly understand what they need. Earning trust takes time, but truly listening is the first step. Okay, tip number 2 that every new manager needs to know is that they must set clear goals early and often to avoid confusion. As managers, it's easy to assume that everyone's clear on what's expected, especially if you've mentioned it in a meeting or passed it on in an email. But the truth is, different team members absorb information in different ways. If you're not regularly revisiting and clarifying goals, it's almost guaranteed that confusion is going to creep in. And there are a few reasons why this happens. As managers, you're already probably deeply familiar with the goals and objectives, so it's easy to assume that others have that same level of clarity. And sometimes you may think, well, because we've communicated something once, it's automatically understood. But each team member processes information differently. It's tempting to give goals and quickly assume your team will figure out the details all on their own. But here are some key questions that you can ask to help set and clarify goals. What does success look like for this project? Is there anything that you need from me to help you reach this goal? Are there any challenges we need to address to make sure that we stay on track? When your team knows exactly what they're working toward, they will feel more confident in their role and in your leadership as a manager. Don't wait for the annual reviews or the major project milestones to check in on a goal. Make it a habit to revisit them regularly. especially if things shift or when priorities change. Regular communication about your goals shows your team that you're invested in their success and that you're there to help them overcome any obstacle they may encounter. All right, next, tip 3 is to give your team autonomy, but be available to coach when needed. Balancing autonomy with accountability can be tricky for first-time managers and even experienced leaders, because you want to empower your team to make decisions and take ownership, but you also need to ensure that things stay on track. So how do you strike this balance? Well, as we mentioned, it starts with setting clear expectations and then give your team space to make decisions. Trust them to handle things on their own, but remember, autonomy doesn't mean stepping away completely. New managers can often struggle with balancing this freedom, but the key is to check in and to find ways to offer guidance without taking over. It's about helping your team members think through challenges and develop their own solutions. Coming back to questions again is a powerful way to help you do so. Asking open-ended coaching style questions like, what approach do you think would work best here? What's something you've tried so far and what results did it lead to? What obstacles are you facing and how can I support you in overcoming them? Adopting a coaching approach as a manager shifts your role to a guide, not to supply or give the answers, but to help your people discover them. Of course, knowing when to step in and offer support can be a challenge, especially when managing different personalities and working styles. Again, this is where something like automated coaching can help make a real difference in your leadership. Automated coaching provides insights into how each team member prefers to work, their strengths, and the areas where they may need extra support. Personalized insights about your team members can help you tailor your approach to better meet their individual needs. Whether someone thrives with more autonomy or requires more support to feel confident in their role, you will become a more effective coach and manager by knowing exactly how to support each team member in their growth. All right, tip 4 is to resolve conflict by addressing both the issue and the people. Conflict in any team is inevitable, but it doesn't mean that it has to be destructive or toxic. For first-time managers, addressing conflict might feel uncomfortable, especially when emotions start to run high. It's important to balance both addressing the problem at hand and understanding the individual's perspectives involved. Recognizing how different team members may respond to conflict is just as crucial as resolving the issue itself. Here are a few quick ways to do so. First, address the conflict early. Don't let the tension linger. Unresolved conflict tends to grow over time, so it's important to address these issues as soon as they surface. 2, acknowledge emotions. Conflict can stir up strong emotions, which are just as important as the surface level disagreement. Acknowledging how each other feel doesn't mean that you're necessarily agreeing with their position, but it does show empathy, which can help diffuse tension and the situation. The third thing you want to do when there's conflict is to focus on solutions. Encourage the team to think collaboratively about how to move forward by focusing on outcomes that work for everyone involved. Asking something as simple as, what steps can we take to resolve this, will help keep the focus on solving the issue rather than assigning blame. And the fourth thing you want to do when there's conflict is consider individual needs and communication styles. Every person handles conflict differently. Recognizing and appreciating these individual differences will help you approach conflict in a way that resonates with each person. By keeping the focus on both the issue at hand and the people involved, you can turn conflict into an opportunity for learning and strengthening your team dynamics. All right, the fifth tip that every new manager needs to know is to play to your team's strength, to navigate challenges, and to maximize collaboration. One of the most powerful tools a manager has is their team's individual strengths. As a manager, your role is to be the facilitator who brings out the best in your team by understanding and harnessing these strengths. Recognizing and utilizing these strengths will not only help your team overcome challenges, but it will strengthen collaboration and trust. You don't have to figure this all out on your own. Automated coaching can provide insights into each person's strengths, work preferences, and the many opportunities that your team has for collaboration. These insights can guide you in making thoughtful decisions about how to bring out the best in your team and align their skills for the most impact possible. As a manager, you can create a sense of ownership and pride in the work that your people do so that it leads to meaningful progress. Let us know which tip resonated with you the most, and if you found this video helpful, be sure to watch this next one too.